The Spring Sports Update is back, and hey, partner, so are you. Jay Alter, John Fanta with you. Let's get right to it, partner.
Very happy to be back. Spring Sports, look, you come back, they're already in full swing. In fact, championship season is upon us. Kalawasi Island, the place to be, as women's golf will name a champion this coming weekend.
Did you work on your swing last week?
I did.
On your break?
I was down in Florida for a couple of days, and I played 18, 2 birdies, a couple of pars, and a lot of doubles and triples, which we won't talk about.
Before we get to that, let's get to the top plays of the week. The best in Big East Spring Sports. And we start with number 5. Emily Supersinski for Seton Hall. The nice snag and the throwback to second for the big double play.
We stick with softball. How about that catch? Claire Gilliand going into the outfield for that one. That is going all out to make the play.
Number 3, Josh Shaw. He's coming up on the Big East Spring Sports Update. And here's why. Wingspan. The Kings of Queens, St. John's, they're red hot.
Flashing the leather. Esports, Big East first ever invitational. Captain Moose, that's the golden goal. Pirates win. That's the goal that won their first ever esports title in Rocket League.
Number 1. Marquette Lacrosse as time expires in regulation.
Wow.
Griffin Fleming to send it into OT. Marquette would go on to win that game. What a victory over Providence.
Lacrosse is not a sport where you get buzzer beaters like that. The ball has to be in the back of the net before zero, much like hockey. It is so rare. That was literally with no time left. Marquette, this is their season. The Golden Eagles, they find a way to win. Such a fun team to watch.
We're going to get to men's lacrosse in a moment, but as Jay said, he was working on his golf swing. You're going to see a lot of golf swings on at Big East Champs this weekend because the Big East Golf Championships return to Kalawasi Island, and it begins with the women's competition.
And what a great tradition this is for Big East Spring Sports to get Kalawasi Island a place to call home. It is gorgeous if you have not seen it before. It takes your breath away. And the Women's Golf Championship, it's a tournament that Georgetown has dominated, but the field deeper this year. It'll be a really competitive weekend for the girls program.
The Hoyas are the reigning champions, but Seton Hall had won it the 3 previous years, and they are highlighted by Cassie Pantelis, who's trying to finish in the top 5 for the 3rd straight year. The action kicks off with the first round on Friday.
John Fanta and our producer, Mitch McDowell, will be there, and I gotta say, the videos that are produced in the next 2 weeks between the men's and the women's golf tournaments in Kalawasi Island, you're playing right in the middle of nature. It's incredible.
Not to mention the tennis as well. We'll see if I have any run-ins with a crocodile.
Probably 1 or 2.
Is a gator or crocodile?
Down there, gator. Down in and folks, the people of South Carolina will correct you.
Is it bad that I don't know the difference?
No, you're from Cleveland, Ohio. They don't have alligators, crocodiles there. All right, let's move on to number 2. Rolling through the 5 things to follow.
Ooh.
Marquette. We showed you, this is the clutch team, and the player with the clutch gene, John Wagner. It's his 4th game winner of the season. How does he keep on doing it? He joined you on the spring update last week.
It's his 5th. He's got 5 in 10 games.
You lose track.
You lose track. Last week he had 4. Now he's got 5. We didn't throw the jinx on him with the interview, but the Marquette Golden Eagles, what a story they formed to rally like that over Providence. Jay, what's your overall impression on Big East lacrosse?
Well, look, Denver and Marquette are locked into the Big East tournament. Only 4 teams make it. Those 2 out of the 4 are locked. So Georgetown, Villanova, and really Providence. Those 3 teams are battling for the final 2 spots. St. John's at 0-3 has really been cut adrift. And I've got to say, Villanova, they're a team, they were ranked in the top 10 in the entire country when the NCAA Selection Committee put out their top 10 teams this past weekend. They're not even in the tournament right now. It speaks to the depth of this league, how competitive it is, and it'll set up for a tremendous Big East tournament in Philadelphia to decide who will be going to the NCAA tournament.
If there's a team that could steal a bid, who is it?
It's Marquette. They've done it the last 2 seasons. And you may say, the Golden Eagles, really? They haven't looked so convincing. It's not about convincing folks. It's about finding a way to win, and Joe Amplo's team has done it time and time again. Not only the past 2 seasons in the Big East tournament, but this season. There's just a will to win. They make plays at the right time, even when there's less than a second left in regulation. They just come up with the goal that they so desperately need.
Let's go to the Diamond for our third thing to know around the Big East. New York's hottest baseball team, the one with the longest winning streak, the Red Hot Red Storm. St. John's has won 8 in a row and a perfect 6-0 in Big East play.
And it's a similar way that the team started last year, but that was more in non-conference play. Now it's breeding over to conference play, and maybe, just maybe, this is the year that St. John's, we could see them make a deep run at the national level as well. Make a regional, make a super regional. That would be something special.
You go as far as your rotation takes you. Sean Mooney at the top of this rotation. They've got Joe LaSorsa, others that are providing really good length for this St. John's team. Ed Blankmeyer, it just comes down to pushing the right buttons. And if there's a guy that can do it, it's a guy who has set all the milestones in college baseball and in Queens. Blanky's got a really good pitching staff. I'm intrigued to see what St. John's does here going forward. I think that this is their conference to lose this year because they got the pitching depth and the experience from last year. Now, can they take it forward and make some noise in a regional or even beyond?
So it was the perfect week to talk to the Red Hot Red Storm. Here's John Fanta's conversation with St. John's.
We're talking to the Big East player and pitcher of the week. It's Josh Shaw who does it at the plate for St. John's, and Sean Mooney, the ace on the mound. Red Storm off to a 6-0 start in Big East play. Josh, why have you guys been so hot?
Recently, we've pitching has been good the whole year, and then our hitting's come on of late, and it's hard to beat us right now. I mean, everybody 1 through 9 is hitting.
Sean, in your second year on the rubber for this team as their number one, what's it been for you, if you could compare freshman year to now, the comfort level with this program?
Definitely more comfortable pitching for everyone. I know defense has got my back, so this year I'm just going out there pounding the zone like I did last year. I know Josh got my back, Jamie's got my back at center, and I'm definitely more comfortable now knowing I can give up some hits.
Is there a difference in your stuff that you've seen evolve this season?
I definitely gained some velocity. There's some games where I've been up to 94, so I know that I can blow up by some guys if I need to in a tough situation when I need to strike out. And the curveball has definitely come on for me as an out pitch, and the changeup has gotten better from last year, but it still needs some work.
Josh, how much did this group learn from last year, where you guys got off to an extremely hot start? You did this year too, but if you could look back to last season and what you guys have to do this year to accomplish that goal of trying to win the Big East.
Well, the upperclassmen and the returners that we have back this year, we all got to learn a lot from the upperclassmen, the seniors that left last year, and even Jesse Berardi, who was drafted as a junior. I mean, there was so much experience there and skill that it was just a great opportunity to learn from those guys, and we've brought that into this season. We had a little bit of adversity over towards the middle of our season so far, and on this 8-game winning streak we're on now, I mean, it's all turned around, and I think that's going to help us down the line.
Josh, how deep is your guys' pitching staff?
It's unbelievable. I mean, there's games where we only need to score 1 run, and we're confident we're going to get the win when you guys like Sean and Kevin McGee and LaPresti. It's unbelievable. We have Jeff Belt, one of the best pitchers in the country, starting midweeks for us. It's unbelievable.
All right, Sean, I've seen the account. Love the Full House spoof earlier this season. Tell me about the St. John's bullpen antics.
St. John's bullpen antics. We started it last year. Gavin Hollowell, our closer, setup guy, started it. He did it anonymously. We all didn't know who ran it. But, I mean, before games, it just keeps us loose. And then once we're done with that, we all lock in. But it definitely keeps us loose and having fun.
Who's your creative director there?
Gavin. Definitely Gavin. Yeah.
He's got editing skills. I mean, the concepts are really good. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, they've been getting more elaborate, too. Full House one, the one we're at the USA Complex, the Joe LaSorsa finding the lefty curveballs. They're definitely getting more elaborate as they're going on.
Anything coming with Ed Blankmeyer? Could there be a TV show spoof about Coach?
I don't
think so.
I don't think Coach will get in there.
I'm trying to think of a scenario where, Coach Blankmeyer, I could see like a Godfather comparison maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll ever get into one.
Growing up, Josh, who was your favorite baseball player?
I would have to say Derek Jeter. Growing up, 'cause I was a Yankees fan, but other than that, I'd say Craig Biggio. Even though he retired when I was young, he was a guy that I really modeled my game after, and just a hard worker. He's from the Northeast, played for Coach Blankmeyer at Seton Hall, so he's always been somebody I looked up to.
Went into Cooperstown just a couple years back. Sean, your favorite pitchers to watch right now in MLB?
Favorite pitchers to watch? Cubs, Kyle Hendricks, just because he doesn't blow up by anyone, just like I really don't. I know how to command it. And honestly, I like watching Bartolo Colon. He can move it, doesn't really throw that hard, so it's fun to watch.
What'd you make of Big Sexy guy Sunday night?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what he can do at 44.
In baseball, who do you guys root for?
I'm a Yankees fan.
I grew up a Yankees fan, but I'd say at this point I'm just more of a baseball fan. I like to watch every game on.
Yeah, I'll put it on, I'll watch, but I root for the Yankees. My dad grew up in the Bronx, so I've grown up a Yankees fan.
The Yankees are playing the Red Sox, and I'm a Yankees fan. That's for sure.
Before we let you go, coming off that sweep of Creighton, Josh, what's it going to take for this St. John's team to keep forging ahead?
We just got to keep the same confidence we brought into those games. I mean, we had some tough weather in the Northeast to start out our year, and now it's getting warm, and baseball is a lot easier when it's 75 degrees outside and you're not wearing 5 layers. Yeah. So as long as our pitching keeps on throwing the way they are, I think our hitting is going to be fine, and we're gonna be the team to beat.
Sean, why can this team be different from the way that last season ended for you guys?
I think this year our pitching staff has a lot more experience. So towards the end of the year, I think last year myself and Joe Source and a few other pitchers got tired. I think this year we're more conditioned and can just keep going out there and doing the same thing we do in the beginning of the year towards the end of the season.
New York's team, watch out for them on the baseball diamond. St. John's is just getting started after the sweep of Creighton. 6-0 at the top of Big East baseball. Josh and Sean, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted more Bartolo Colon talk. Those guys were great. I think they should get a little baseball podcast, whip around the league with you every Wednesday. That was a lot of fun.
Those guys are really fun. And St. John's, I'll tell you what, they are on a roll. It's all on the road to Prasco Park this May, where the Big East baseball tournament will be.
And let's move on to softball. Our fourth thing you need to follow this week in the world of Big East spring sports. Really, softball, they're at that midway point of conference play. DePaul and St. John's are leading the pack when it comes to Big East softball. Let's take a look at the standings, John. Yes, DePaul, it's not unexpected at this point. They had a great non-conference record, and they brought it into Big East play. St. John's, more of a surprise, getting it done in conference play after a slow start. Who's the third team that you could see press up the softball standings?
I'm intrigued by Villanova. I like the job that Anissa Amaryllis has done. The freshman pitcher has been very good in the circle. And then on top of that, Nikki Alden, the senior, she had 10 hits over this past weekend. So watch out for these Villanova Wildcats. They're starting to get good pitching. While they're young, I like this team and what they're doing. And Butler has proved to be dangerous in the Big East tournament like they did 2 years ago.
Yeah, still a long way to go as we get you ready for the softball spring championship tournament, which John Fanta will be on the call for. And John, it's funny, the spring sports, more than the fall and the winter, it's really spread out. You've got Big East women's golf, which will be this week, the championship this weekend. But then softball and baseball way at the end of May. It's just funny how this season comes and goes and is really spread out.
It's fun. It's kind of its own type of madness here. We get a couple of weeks after hoops to recover. We're right back out in the swing of things and heading down to Kalawasi later this week as we turn to number 5. Our championship season's underway.
I was going to say, it's a new addition to the spring sports slate. It's the first year of Big East Esports, the inaugural Esports Invitational powered by ESL. Villanova and Seton Hall, your champions. And the two categories, if you will, or I'm not a video game guy.
Right, Rocket League.
And League of Legends.
Yeah.
So those were the two games, and Seton Hall upset DePaul in Rocket League. We showed you the game-winning goal, and then Villanova also beat DePaul in the League of Legends.
And here are the Wildcats on that LOL championship.
Well, one thing is for sure, esports has taken the Big East by storm this spring, and we are lucky enough to be joined by the winners of the first ever Big East Invitational powered by ESL for the Villanova Wildcats. It's Joe Colson and Kevin Hames. Fellas, first and foremost, congratulations. Take us through what it meant to be part of the first ever Big East Invitational and then winning it.
Thanks for having us. For us, it definitely means a lot. This is a program that me and Kevin have been in at our university for over 4 years. We helped start the team and made it, and we've been playing together for 4 years. So, being able to play in this tournament during our senior year and win it was just really exciting for us.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. We've seen like the Big Ten Network get involved, so it's so cool to see the Big East finally do it for our final year here.
It's been fun for us to see it in this first Big East Invitational. Now, you guys won the League of Legends Championship. Seton Hall won the Rocket League Championship. So I'm just curious, as a guy that is not into it every day like you guys are, what makes a good League of Legends player? How do you know a good player when you see one?
You want to take it?
All right, there's so many different categories, but like you need to be smart, first of all. There's so many things going on in the game. You have to be able to watch an entire map. It's just like looking at an entire chessboard that's constantly changing. And you also have to have great reaction times. You have to be able to react to what your enemy's doing and what your teammates are doing. And I don't even know. There's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Just have to be able to like control all those different variables at the same time while still being able to control your character exactly how you want to.
Yeah, there's definitely also just a great aspect of teamwork in League of Legends that you have to be able to work as a 5-man unit. It's not just one game of chess, let's say, that I'm playing against someone else.
Right.
I now have 4 other people that I have to communicate with, and we all need to coordinate our actions to try to outsmart that other team.
You guys both said that you have watched not only the Villanova program grow, but the Big East incorporate it. I guess, have you guys taken time to digest really how long and accomplished this journey has been for you guys to start the club and now be the first ever Big East champions in League of Legends?
I don't know if it's sunk in yet.
Yeah.
It's an exciting journey that we've been on, and we've hit a lot of, I don't know about roadblocks, but difficult challenges along the way of not quite making it where we want it to be every year. And it's really exciting this year to finally, hit a huge milestone with this Big East tournament.
Yeah, I think once the medals come in or the jackets, I think that's when we'll finally realize, wait a second, this was the first Big East esports invitational, and we were the champions.
Fellas, the medals, the jackets are on their way. What is the celebration going to be? Do we have any plans for when the medals come on, the ceremony? What's going to go down on the campus of Villanova?
Well, I'm not sure if the campus knows about it, but
You guys kind of got a little overshadowed by the national championship, right?
yeah, you could say that. But I think as a team, we'll probably go out, maybe get a dinner together or something like that. Just kind of really let it sink in and have a good time ourselves.
How have you seen the landscape change in just the last couple of years at Villanova and also across the country?
I would say it's definitely been a drastic change on the collegiate level and even on sort of a professional level for League of Legends, as far as different schools picking it up, as well as the Big Ten network is definitely doing League of Legends right now. And just generally the sort of understanding of esports and what it is and sort of the respectability of it has definitely risen significantly over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing for me is just seeing every single year a new couple of schools releases scholarships for esports players, and that's just cool. Seeing all these big name schools finally getting into it. Unfortunately, it's when we're graduating.
Yeah, as seniors, it's tough because it's getting really exciting now, right when we have to leave. But
Joe and Kevin, I have to ask, a Villanova alum, he has done so much on the basketball court, Josh Hart, but he's also making a name for himself in esports. He's a huge Fortnite player. Have you watched Josh, and can either one of you, do you think you could take him on in Fortnite?
Do you have any Fortnite skills? I personally do not play
No.
Fortnite, so Josh Hart would school me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've got to say the same. I've been so focused on this Big East Invitational, I haven't had any time to play Fortnite.
Fellas, congratulations. This is an achievement that will stand in the Villanova esports community forever. The first ever Big East Invitational powered by ESL, and you guys win the League of Legends Championship. So congratulations again. Thank you for sharing us your esports knowledge. This is only going to continue and grow, not only in the Big East, but across college campuses, and we really appreciate your time and the insight.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
It's a jam-packed week of Big East women's lacrosse as we take a look at our BEDN TV schedule.
One of those games already underway. You can catch it on Fox Sports Go right now. Villanova and Butler over on the BEDN. And then coming up in just a couple of hours, Georgetown against UConn. That's a big game for Big East seeding as we get ready for the women's lacrosse tournament.
Remember, get the Fox Sports Go app to watch the Big East Digital Network. It is free. And tune into CBS Sports Network Saturday, 1 Eastern Time. Rocky Mountain High, Denver hosting Providence.
One of the best teams in the country, certainly the cream of the crop once again in Big East men's lacrosse, that Denver Pioneers team. And then keep women's lacrosse rolling. Georgetown, Marquette, both teams at 5-1. That is a terrific contest. And then Scott Sudikoff on the call Saturday, Villanova and Temple, and a little Philadelphia rivalry game.
That does it for us on the Spring Sports Update. Any final thoughts here?
Yeah, who would win an esports Rocket League battle, you and I?
Considering both of us have never played, it would probably be a lot of fun to watch.
I want to
us
hook it
play.
up to the TV.
Yeah, hook it up to Twitch
Little
or
hook
something.
it up, me and you.
What was your best video game growing up?
I was a FIFA guy, so pretty similar to the Rocket League. He could be in trouble.
I'll tell you what, I could really run a 4-3 defense with like the 2005 Browns, who were terrible in real life, but I could run a 4-3. I was a defensive coordinator. I'd beat you like 13-9, Alter.
Even in John
Nice rock
Fanta's
fight. In Madden.
Madden franchise modes, the Browns would still never win a Super Bowl.
Come on.
Sorry.
I'm always rooting for the college basketball video game to come back.
I know.
But
That was fun.
That would lead us down a legal discussion that's not good for this show. So long, everybody. This has
that
been the
note.
Spring Sports Update.
We'll see you next week.